Good morning, and yes, I am here somewhere. I don't know if you can just about make out a silhouette there. Well, first light, you wouldn't think it. I'm underneath a brolly. It's a very wet and windy start to December. Welcome to winter. I've only got a short window of opportunity this morning, and I'm on a small pond to kick off this month's angling. I've put the light on that one. First cast, first fish. It's 7:45, marginally lighter. You can at least see an image of sorts on the screen. Let's get that first cup of tea poured. It's going to be a small roach start anyway. I've worked that out already. They do hang around in shoals, and without the light to brighten the fish, that's what it looks like. As we approach 8 o'clock, and we're still some time away from the shortest day of the year. It might not be the biggest of the species that I've ever caught, but it's the first perch I've had in a while. Nice to see and remind myself what they look like. A greedy fish. Use the disgorger, very simple operation, in and out in no time at all. There's no harm in keep banging the drum of fish welfare. A couple of disgorgers and forceps that I've got in my bag for this session. I just needed my hands though to get the hook out of this fish. With the conditions this morning, particularly the wind, location was important. That's why I'm on this particular venue and also in this exact spot. It's very sheltered. When I leave home, I only have to look into the garden, see trees, not exactly bending over at right angles, but trees have obviously got that reaction to the wind. And then when I get down here, hardly anything at all. Why? Because it's about location. I know the direction that the wind is coming from, and I also know the location of this particular pond. No problems when it comes to watching the float, especially when it disappears. Mind you, in regards to location, even though I've eliminated the bulk of the effect of the wind, nevertheless I'm having to hold on sometimes because a gust manages to make its way through. Fairly tight in the sense that I've got to get the cast right, otherwise I'll be in those overhanging trees. It's an unmanaged section, of course, as you can see, but that suits me, especially at this time of the year with very minimal vegetation and of course no lilies, etc. that you normally get, and weed in the summer on this type of venue. So therefore, seek out where the fish will be. It's not rocket science, it's watercraft. I'm fishing with 3 red maggots. That's a Drennan wide gape specialist hook, size 14. I've stuck with that pattern from my previous session, which was on the canal, because mild conditions, and I was thinking I might get a few perch this morning, and so far so good. Nothing big, but I have been catching perch, and the anchor shot that I often talk about in reference to the canal, still got that there as well, because there is, although I've already said keeping away from the main force of the wind, there is a slight breeze that's obviously moving the float along, so I want that to be anchored on the bed of the pond, and there's a gap of about 4-5 inches from that to that. Where I'm casting to is about 3.5 feet deep, and I've got a 1.2 gram Drennan crystal waggler, 4-pound Maxima chameleon that goes right through to the hook. It's my Grays TX Prodigy float rod and my Shimano 3500 reel, perfect for this type of angling. I'm continuing to catch. It's been a very productive session. Returning the final fish, but it flipped out my hand into the water and off it's gone. It was a perch, a small one. by the way. The water was cold. This side of the surface, it's quite mild, wet and windy, southwesterly. But yesterday morning, just 24 hours ago, I was scraping ice and I had cold toes. Very enjoyable session, less than 2 hours, lots of fish. Now to talk about it on Bayside Radio. Absolutely, first full year of retirement, and I've been out every day, and now I'm on the last leg. Not that it feels like a burden, it's always been a labour of love. Yes, whatever the conditions, I just get out there. The only thing I do is it might determine the weather, that is, where I go, what I fish for, but the conditions will never stop me, not only from going fishing, but also doing anything else in life. You can't allow something over which you have no control to stop you from enjoying what you want to achieve. I do, actually. I didn't when we've got two girls. I didn't when they were younger, but when they got older, left on themselves, I thought, you know what? Let's have an hour or so first thing on Christmas morning, and you'll be surprised actually how many people are out there. Maybe not all day. I wouldn't fish all day, obviously, but you never know what's going on in people's lives, and that's why we should never judge anyone about how they live their life.